Okay, as we lead up to the conjunction on 12 April, Jupiter and Neptune will be in conjunction. So I want to talk a little bit about Neptune. This article that you can read kind of while I'm talking explains that there was a lot of energy movement on Neptune in the window of 2018 to 2020 as Hubble was able to observe it. And from a spiritual standpoint, because angels are extraterrestrials and many are human, the proximity of communication that we became aware of through angelic channeling on negative planning against us, I'm going to use the words, had been pushed out to the Kuiper Belt, which is beyond Neptune. And this was channeled from Sam the Illusionist as far as just go with the periphery of Lucifer, because Lucifer blasted off past Jupiter, where the governorship was, and I don't, whether anything was vacated or not, I don't know how that goes. I know that Jupiter got lit up on both sides by Regulus and our sun. The moon was in between Earth and the sun because it was a total eclipse. So from another angle, like way the hell out there, there was confirmation about what was happening, because it happened. And that's all. Lucifer has that level of awareness. He's that gender, whatever salamander, self-reincarnated being, is at 6th density. Like out there. On Nibiru. Whatever that constitutes for that ride. We'll see when it comes back. There'll be responsibility. It's top down. I don't want to put out any bad messages for anybody. Only I know that the good ship Lollipop got popped out of here at some point, and I wasn't in charge of it. I just know that Lucifer is coming back, and I'm expecting to have a legitimate party in Christ consciousness on this planet. So I'm making it good news. I like to hokey poke around with Trump and Kushner and FEMA, but I'm giving you the vibrational energy of what's happening with this conjunction, dear Lord. So this is NASA's Hubble. So if you don't believe, me, you've been talking about NASA and Hubble, and apparently the thing works, because it was spotting where Prince Philip got himself hurled out to for his new happy dance out there in Redcoat country, where they hunt the fox, and maybe there's a inverse relationship, and there's fox people, and he's a little human, like when they mocked the other guy, Charles, and they dressed him up as a tampon in Saturday Night Live to be the tampon of Princess Diana. And that's funny, for the sake of them. It's a counter blow from Camelot, somehow, because it's humorous. Alright, so let's get back here to the water planet, where the energy changes. You could use the word predictive intelligence if you want to go quantum. I'm an intel guy. So the vibration is such that Neptune did sort of a semi-inversion, like, hey, wake up, it's a planet at the water level. And Lucifer has angelic proximity coming in. The Kuiper Belt disturbance was legitimate, as far out as it was, and it's supposedly on its way out, of the universe, because this solar system is going to be pristine. Right now we're working on Gaia and our adamantine deliveries. I'm just sort of ahead of the game, so I'm explaining to you what's coming. And what's coming is no problems at 6th density awareness, because we're going to be there, sitting on our tushies and flying around in imagination, locked in formations that are going to be unbelievable. You got to start thinking in 5th dimension and stop thinking and let it happen when it does, because you'll get the guidance. So from there's so many ways to address Neptune and what it means, because it's in Pisces, and the water analogy is kind of doubled. So to speak at a level of density that's appropriate, you have to go to 1st density when you consider water. So from a constellation standpoint as well as a planetary standpoint, water is the theme. So water is 1st density, 5th octave. And you can sidetrack and talk about Poseidon and the analogies that have manifested on Earth of the power of, call it humanity, when the best that we got to work on the water wear Poseidon on their chest. And they are the best, humans. Navy SEALs are, they wear that. So you have to do the analogy of a human. And what's better walking around here? I mean, if we're the walking vipers without wings, because that's the agreement that we made, the SEALs are the guys that they prove themselves, and they're organized, and they do things globally. Very, the term itself, sea, air, and land, they project in their training. So that's all tied to Poseidon on the good side. And then, McRaven's got to wear what he wears as Obamanite, Solomon Bottomite. I said it. Michael didn't say it. Michael Obama didn't say it. William said it. So there's all kinds of Michaels out there. I forgive them. Just explaining. Humorously. Posthumously. For them, I guess. They're welcome to remain. I'm not running anybody off planet. Everybody that's supposed to be here needs to come back. If they're out there, they need to come back. You got a chance to be on the surface. I don't know when the cutoff day is, but I'm telling you, 12 April is going to be very big. So that's the point of this presentation. And we're at 1st density, 5th octave when we're talking about water. And just to go up, when you're talking about 2nd density, you have to consider that I'm kind of going, let's go outside the universe, and the first thing you hit coming from anywhere is the water planet. If you want to say that Neptune's the largest analogy of a real planet that we have, because Pluto's back and forth, and I've heard different things on Pluto from Ascended speaking, so it's out of the mix as far as what we know those identities to be. And So there's a lot of things occurring, say, vibrationally speaking. So in the regard of those beings who have an opportunity to tell the truth, I'll go with a man like McCraven, who could actually hear this briefing. You know, if you lied on TV in the name of Obama, because that's really what you're doing. You're lying in the name of Obama. You can see the Ukraine videos that are staged studio settings. So I'm going to say that the hit did occur, but whatever is associated with, let's call it the rest of the story in the Twilight Zone that we live in, is something you don't need to know, viewer, unless you're Admiral McCraven or President Obama. And I'd venture to say anybody that was sitting in the studio picture there. I mean, you got Clapper. It's an illuminated event. So things happen, and they happen, and they happen. And there's nobody. 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 There's no Osama. There's no Obama, but there's no Osama. But let's go out to McCraven and let's ask him, in the name of the conjunction, wouldn't it be grand for the United States Navy SEAL community to be vindicated by the testimony of that man against Barack Obama? Wouldn't that be great if I don't know, I'm going to get Zoom pretty soon, start talking to people. So, I'm going to throw it out there now. His name's William. He's down there in Texas. He probably does proclamations with the school year. So this is Neptune based. And he's the guy. Admiral Olsen, I'd be honored to talk to him. Because he's got nothing to hide. That guy busted out of the motor pool because Garrison set the thing up. So Garrison better watch out. When Olsen slows down to slow down to catch up, he's going to be, I don't see any signs of him. There are humans out there that just got what they need. And we got 30 years to turn the corners at godlike levels. So, Thor needs to be allowed time to figure out who his friends are and what was done to the SEAL community. And as this conjunction happens, I'm going to tell you what, it's just the way it is, and I hope everybody benefits from it. In addition to what I'm saying, but energetically speaking, when you boost up to second density life, you're now talking about seeds, but to allow you to understand the way the progress works, it stays plant-based through third octave with grass related plants and stuff, and you get the trees. And then at 2.4, the change happens where waterborne insects and fish are kind of introduced into the loop. So I want to talk about them at the same time, along with with Neptune as a planet. Because you're talking about, if something was going to survive on Neptune, it would need to kind of be something that was light enough to walk on a water surface and dense enough to survive within it. Simply. if you use natural elements to put things together out there. However it's done with all the elements. There may be fires inside of Neptune that we don't know about, literally at third density. But I don't know. Look, I'd say I just have no idea. I'm not a telescope space guy. I'm just saying that at second density from our ground here, it starts with plants and seeds. I mean, the trees floated on Malbec, so I don't want to get off topic about oxygen breathing life that can move around that you couldn't eat the fruit. It's like another story that we were told, and the apples were hanging there, and eventually they bit them. So sounds like the Arcturians put that whole thing together, because it's, I don't know, the angels are kind of silly with how things are managed. It's sort of a part of it. Now, let's get back to science class and talk about second density seeds that run up to waterborne insects and subsurface life, fish. And that, to the extent of coming first, go with the bishop who wears the Pisces cap. All the analogies of the ascension out of the water, and then you get to you're back to reptile, amphibious, but the way the angels explain it is, the fish, but you got the waterborne insects are happening as moving around life that's above the surface on the water, and then you kind of progress very quickly into everything else. So I'm explaining that from just to let you know how our Creator speaks to us in the way that I am. Because of this conjunction that's coming up, it's kind of second coming related, because Jupiter, to get to the other planet in the conjunction, as I mentioned earlier, was in the four-banger, but there were three lit objects, and the fourth one was a total eclipse of the sun from our perspective, but the moon had been put in place by actions that Lucifer is associated with. I mean, they occurred. Passive voice. And to say, oh, Lucifer active voice, I don't know. I'm just saying skedaddle-daddled with Nibiru. And the moon was put in a pretty Pythagorean, hey, I mean, somebody that knows all that geometry, that can tell me about how the moon got put in place as Lucifer hijacked out of here, needs to have been there, number one, or be Angry Catfish Briggs, who just complains about everything. So I called him out. Look him up on YouTube. He's got a beard. He's like a Nibiru. He's like the flippin' navigator for the planet Nibiru. The poor man. But I want to make it funny. Just go watch him on YouTube. You have to go back. Angry Catfish Briggs. Eric Briggs. I mean, hell, it's Neptune. There's Neptune coming, so why not? The guy's a sailor. He was a sextant. He could read the stars, and he's all locked into some shit on the pyramid walls with his esoteric hilarity. And he's a good guy, but he's mad at everybody, and it's 1738 or whatever the hell the number is he locked in on. It's true. I mean, so what? I mean, so wattage. Now back to Neptune. So from a density perspective, at second density, you've got what I explained concerning surface level insects and subsurface. So I believe that spiritually now, the actions that are happening are actually being triggered with us and by us because we are being given the awareness of love that we are born to know, as well as the reinforcement angelically is moving it from, let's say, Mercury out. Mars is still, I mean, the proximity to Earth becomes sort of the final battles, but what had occurred, just so you are clear, you know, the APB went out to Lucifer, you know, so the studio audience, this is through angelic channeling now, and you got to use discernment, so I am. So the call went out for Lucifer from Mars, and, you know, the angels didn't say, okay, like a NASA shot, okay, it's 3 days later, here's what Lucifer said. You know, I'm just laughing at this because I find it funny. It's the joke is on the Jesuits, because I guarantee you that the darkest member of the Jesuit Legion were working on them telescopes with their Draco clothes on, trying to figure out how to be Apaches, but not really, because they were really interested in whatever the hell they did out there at Mount Graham. We don't know. But they're Jesuits. The Vatican purchased the property to stare out there at the vortex, that the Apache, it's sacred grounds to them. You know. So, I'm sure there's a lasting, the Indians are, you know, they sort of, I don't know. I guess you just have to exist and stop the need to go. Like, why the hell did they allow the Jesuits to take their stuff? I mean, if that's their place, go Apache now. That was their place. Like, if you're listening to me as a Trump immigrant, you got pushed off out of birth to, whoop, you landed here in America 2-3 generations ago. That's your story. If you're a Western, English, Scottish, freaking immigrant, you know, that's your story. The Indians here, I mean, I'm broadcasting here from United States, dead center in the middle, not really, but it's Arkansas. Nice setup, strategically, and you know, we're in control of what happens as far as goodness goes. The better that we feel together and loving one another and everything that's out there, it's going to go away. And everything can be Wizard of Oz, you woke up, nobody got hurt, and we made it. If we will it together, it's very important that we start thinking alike about unconditional love. We're just working it. Working the word into your vocabulary. Hey, I love you. Because you do. Because it's good. It's your heart. And everything goes from there. So, that's that. Just to get back in the analogy, that's the 4th octave at 3rd density for us. It's the trigger to 4th density at 4.1. So 4 is kind of an important number, just the way our creator works. Like, it's a trigger point. And, you know, to reverse it back from there, at 2nd density, 4th octave, that's where all this beautiful stuff happens that I'm talking about, because it's past the tree. It's off the ledge to the floating and then the deep from our ascension standpoint, because it came from there. If you know, that's just a way of looking at it, because the way that the truth is, as we know it, we didn't really come here that way. I mean, to say that our system is similar, yes, and that one day we'll breathe water known as prana. So you have to expand everything. Like if we're going to be expanded into particles of consumption that work that way with knowledge, it gets senior. So I need to come back and just let you know that at second density, fourth octave is where Neptune happens. Let's put it that way, because it's maritime life. Surviving on the water or in the water. You know, we do it with boats because we know what we're doing. And sailing's a beautiful thing, so you can go with the romantic side of water, and there we go. So, we're human. It's an analogy. And Jupiter was lit on both sides when Yeshua ben Joseph was born, and that was observed by Lucifer. They got it twisted into the mass, and there'll be clarity for us when the time comes about who the guilty ones are. You know, and you'll probably find they're at the surface, and the closer you get to us, you know, the closer you get to us on the surface, the opposition is on Mars, and they tried to contact Lucifer with a, hey, come on, help. So the vortexes, we were told, were closed. So Lucifer, now, I'm just saying that we're talking about General Clapper, Whitting. He was a bald guy, he got shot down, North Korea. But do you think that Lucifer was aware about a game plan concerning vortexes and closures? Wait a minute. Hang on. You mean Lucifer was a part of the other... What? Look. I'm in sales, not management, okay? I'm just trying to explain things. Who's up? It's been a big spy game. It's a sting. Prepare to be stung by Lucy. Maybe. I don't know. I'd give her a good grade, because everybody in the Elohim is playing their proper role to get us properly amazed. So this is just one element. And it's coming on the 12th, so it's a very important one, because we're being told it on the 12th. We, as future beings, unprecedented, in the I am moment together, for what we know, we'll get to do our day-to-day in a new way, in a new awareness after the 12th. So if you hear my voice and you've been listening this far, it's a good opportunity to get yourself brushed up inside. It takes a little bit of time. One of the problems I have is that I'm not balanced enough. So in the past couple of days, the weather hasn't been conducive to it, but I don't want to make excuses either. So that's a part of everybody's routine, should be that, getting close to nature and being aware internally that if you know that it's coming, so you can imagine that it's coming, and you can imagine, because the great men of our time who have gone from the doctor world of science to the protomic world and can explain the warfare and get you to realize that you have blood cells and things that are happening with intelligent life down at that level, like instantaneously at that level. And now you have to come up and understand from an awareness standpoint that on the 12th, we've got cosmic energy coming in that's going to go do work down at that level with a genetic, some upgrades that have been re-resonated angelically that weren't active since the days of Atlantis. So we've got a full piano bar going up and down, and when we get this additional accent to us, it's going to be notable. So my wish is that everybody who's made it this far in hearing me does the right things from a discipline standpoint to show the universe, which is you, that you are with the music of the vegan. Use your extra flavors. Go vegan with flavors. And again, I am not telling anybody to do eggs. I do eggs. And I don't want to make this a diet show. But you can't eat fish. So I do want to say water-based stuff. If it's moving with independent motion, no good. You want to, seaweed, algae, that's fine. I'm going to say, off the top of my head. But, yeah, it's very nutritious. The nutritional balance that we'll go with is going to be interesting as well. So, that was the main things to say about the importance of Neptune as a planet, that in addition to whatever you go and look up on the internet, it's worthwhile to know. And to close with the opening, and the purpose of this article was that there was an electronic disturbance, and it was like a polar flip. When I read it, when I was in my mode of research months ago, it sounded like there was a polar flip going on. I could probably find some YouTube provider that said it was happening. Because there were guys that do that stuff. And so it was along the lines of this, so I believe it was the same activity. So what the one guy had described as a complete inversion was kind of this. And it was a big time. If this had happened on Earth, it would have been holy smokes. But it didn't. But to transformate, let's call it consciousness now. And it's just time to straighten things out. So the Neptune that existed before all this was not quite the same. It went through its protocols. It's like getting ready for this conjunction, for the return. That's what I'm trying to say about putting it all together. And Lucifer's coming back. And there's no waterboarding way the hell out there. But they were in the Kuiper Belt. So which way they went, we don't know. But we know that the SR-71 Draco stuff was, fleeting. Targets are fleeting. And it's a multidimensional opposition, so we get clarity and unity and good for life and lessons learned put to bed in truth. And, so that being said, like I said, there are these crux words that people say when they speak. Like I said, there are more than that, so to speak. Like I said. All right, enough. You're 63 years old, William. And it's just so funny that here in a couple of days, I sort of got stunted a while ago, and my stuff's been going gray, but I'm feeling pretty good. overall. I don't drink alcohol. I'm staying up kind of late because it's my birthday. And I love everybody. I guess I love Neptune. It's a blue planet. Like swimming. I like Navy SEALs. Man, I was the escort officer for fucking Admiral. The hell was his name? I think it was Yarborough. He became like a guy. He was a freaking, whatever. The SEALs are the Navy SEALs as officers are, they're ready to go. They're like the Navy SEAL officers. Many of them are like, hey, MMA. Look at freaking Ventura. He was a Navy SEAL. I think he was an officer. Michael Jaco was an enlisted guy. Jaco, look, it's time for me to zoom it with Jaco. In time for the 12th. I guess I need to go look for him. He's a Trump zombie, but he's got potential in so many ways. I don't want to judge him other than, improper loyalty to, a wake-up sequence of, okay, deliberate now. Because you got him trying to hook and jab Michael Jaco. And you can see the other comments coming in just on this YouTube talking head stuff where, hey, it's a dirty world. Charlie Ward, and I'm not tracking any of these guys anymore. Simon Parks, because they got called out. So, hey, they're still putting out their latest, but there are people who watch them. And I go diving on there and try to put some of my links out. I don't want to talk about any of that. It's like everybody that's supposed to be with us will be with us. So I just keep doing my part. And it's going to get better. We're all going to get better. And drink some coffee. Do some stuff. What else is there to say about Neptune? Or anything? Other than, there's a lot of saints, walking saints that are out there right now doing their job. And they're being, I'm going to use the lady from the UK. I put a thing out on Facebook earlier. Susanna Emmanuel. I think she's got a third name. But she's a divine feminine prototype, and the resonance for me was Lemuria and Cryoron. That's how you can find her. So the people that get called to be in support of her message, and you can see why. It's so pure and beautiful. It's a brave woman who's gets out there romantically and expresses love. That particular lady, her style. And the ones who resonate with her wanted to come and prove that, hey, COVID's a bunch of crap. I'm going to put this my way, because I'll find the flipping article and I'll put the link in the description to this video. It's getting too long. But these people were called and they showed. I'm going to turn this around. Yeah, they were called and they showed up. And there was a big issue about them assembling together as one to prove to everybody that COVID's a bunch of crap and we're not going to get it. And everybody was scared. Oh, wait, they can't do that. That would be a problem. Those healthy people who don't care if they sneeze, know they're not going to die, and they want to prove it to everybody. But it was expressed as like, hey, it's the Scare Train Express coming in to have a meeting, and we know that when you have meetings, everybody gets sick. So why do they want to do that and get sick? So let's be panicked about it, because they're violating protocols. The regulations were being violated. So the woman was damn near in legal proceedings. When I found the article, it was a spirit lady, and it was a regular MS. It's a freaking like a Huffington Post. It wasn't that, but it was damn near. So, yeah, Susanna Marie Emanuel, or Maria Susanna Emanuel. I'll post the link to her stuff. And should freaking pause this, damn it. No, it's gonna cut out. I'm gonna put it as a link. She's tied to Cryeron. Mountain of Light. Freedom and power. Knowledge and wisdom. And love and compassion. That's the triad of our Creator that's in us. And it's the essence of a rainbow. It's blue, gold, and pink. Pink was chosen for compassion. It came off the red. So do the analogy of compassion as pink. It's tied to women and Abigail, who that's where you have to go with the line of David, because that's where it came from. She was trying to take care of the men. So go with a mother who heard the men are starving. Oh crap, I gotta take care of my stupid husband Nabal, fix the problem because we're loaded and the men are starving. And I threw myself at David. Good enough for him. I'm coming back to marry you because you helped me out. And David's David. And he got identified on that side of the house. And we are what we are, so he did what he did. Yeshua did what he did. It's all accounts. And it was done because it was angelically managed for our Creator. What I'm going to say, identities who met and made decisions about how to do it behind the scenes that you don't know about, but you're a part of. So the fact I can't even explain it, let you know there's stuff going on kind of simultaneously behind the scenes for you. And we're here in the third density lighting up to the fourth, so we're going to meet all these others that are, oh yeah, we did it. And then we're going to go back to when we did it before. Just going to give it very animated. Infidelity. Multi-dimensions. So this upcoming conjunction is very important for those reasons. So good night. Fairly well. Yeah, it's the 26th. So it's my birthday all day. And I just looked at it. It's 6:39 is the time. And I wonder if that's when I was born. Because my birthday is March 26, 59, so 369. That says 639, but I know I was born in the morning, so I'll find out. Maybe I just did. So, listen, every day's a birthday. They weren't really. You shouldn't be. I guess you're supposed to be sensitive to holidays, but I'm not. I'll get better. I'm supposed to get better. The 12th is coming. That's not my birthday, but 9/11 is coming too. That's my brother's birthday. So if we're going to stay on that clock, let's stay on it. Have a great March 26th. I was born on Holy Thursday, by the way, because I'm just going to say it because I was. So I'm allowed to therefore say that the Holy Grail wasn't that it was a meal that they had. Hey, don't, when the time comes, when they try and do this in the future, people, it's real food and real drink. So don't go Draco. Don't be like Count Dracula, but see, it gets translated out. So his original words will be interesting. They're in the Essene library. I'll have to go look. Look. I love everybody. Who am I? Who are you? We're awesome. Peace.